What's going on, guys? Welcome to your second stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and stimulus negotiation report for Sunday, October 11th. The past few days has been filled with ups and downs. We have a new stimulus proposal from President Trump for $1.8 trillion, but Nancy Pelosi says it is sadly inadequate. President Trump said he actually wants a larger stimulus package than the $1.8 trillion that he told Steve Mnuchin to offer Nancy Pelosi. Mitch McConnell is saying he doesn't believe a deal will get done prior to the election. The presidential debate that was scheduled for October 15th has been canceled, and Stephen Mnuchin and Mark Meadows are sending letters to Congress urging them to pass legislation for the PPP program. This sounds like this is the entire update for the month of August. However, this is only the past couple of days. The good news here is that the negotiators are getting closer. They have been back at the table. They are working towards a deal. The problem is they're a little bit far away. The bad news on this is that negotiators keep changing their end goal. For example, Nancy Pelosi initially said it wasn't the offer or the number in the offer. It was the language. Now, Nancy Pelosi says she doesn't like the number. President Trump had Steve Mnuchin offer a $1.8 trillion stimulus package, but while delivering that $1.8 trillion stimulus package, President Trump was off doing an interview saying he actually wants a larger stimulus package than even the Republicans and Democrats want to offer. Nancy Pelosi also said that once she said she was open to passing a standalone bill for the airlines. Now, Nancy Pelosi is completely opposed to passing any standalone bill without a larger package right behind it. Well, that's what Steve Mnuchin and Mark Meadows are trying to do. One of the biggest issues right now that I'm seeing across the internet that has nothing to do with Nancy Pelosi, Steve Mnuchin, Mark Meadows, President Trump, anybody, is that the media keeps telling Americans that Republicans, specifically the GOP, the Senate Republicans, do not want to pass a stimulus deal. That is true in a way. There are Republicans out there that do not want to pass any stimulus deal whatsoever. There is roughly about 20 or so that have said no. Well, that's fine. We do not need those 20. There's others that are willing to say yes. Right now, we know there's roughly 10 Republicans, GOP, Republicans from the Senate, that are willing to support any stimulus package because they know we need it. So we have 10. All we need is 13. That means we need about 3 or 4 more Republicans on board. Well, converting about 3 to 4 Republicans out of the 25 or so that are left should not be that difficult. And that is what President Trump is currently working on, because he would like to go farther. He'd like to go and do more, because what Nancy Pelosi is offering in $2.2 trillion is going to help now in some ways. However, we are going to fall short in the long run. President Trump is very sure, very certain he will win this upcoming election. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to position the United States in a way that we can not only get through the next couple of months, next few months, till the end of the year, but also we will see progress moving into 2021. Now, whether he's in office or not, this would actually be a benefit to not only the next president, which could be President Trump, could be Joe Biden. We don't know yet. But what we do know is the American people are still going to be here. The president may change, but the American people will still be here. So this is good news that President Trump is considering more, because he knows it would help and benefit everybody involved. So here is what we know, okay? What we know is Nancy Pelosi does not get along with President Trump. Trying to get President Trump to get him out of office because of his health issues. Well, President Trump, Joe Biden, they're a little bit older, right? They obviously are going to have some health issues. That's understandable. So I don't know what Nancy Pelosi is really trying to do here, other than just put another hurdle in front of President Trump. She's been doing this for years, so it's nothing really new, but that is what we know. She doesn't like him. She doesn't care for him, and she hasn't talked to him in over a year. So right now, we will most likely have the votes to pass any stimulus package through the Senate. As long as Nancy Pelosi agrees to it first, it should be a done deal, but we just don't know yet. Now, in even better news, Steve Mnuchin and Mark Meadows wrote a letter to Congress today to consider passing a standalone bill for the PPP program and repurpose the unused funds from the CARES Act. That is going to be roughly about $130 billion. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for businesses that are currently struggling. In the letter, it stated, "The all-or-nothing approach is an unacceptable response to the American people." It also went on to say, we will continue to try to work with Speaker Pelosi and Senator Schumer. It is not just about the top line number, but also about legislation that can be passed by both the House and the Senate and signed into law by President Trump to help the American people. Well, that sounds good to me. However, Nancy Pelosi has stated several times that a smaller package is not better than no deal at all. And that is specifically what Steve Mnuchin and Mark Meadows are addressing when they say the all-or-nothing approach is an unacceptable response to the American people. They're pretty much just poking at Nancy Pelosi. However, she does the same thing, so right now it's just kids going back and forth. However, Nancy Pelosi has stated several times, like I said, that a smaller package is not better than no deal at all. Nancy Pelosi is under the impression that no deal is the exact same, puts people at the exact same place as they are right now. Or if she gives them just a little bit, a taste, maybe that stimulus check, some unemployment, some PPP funding, some rental assistance, nobody would know. Nobody would care. It's no big deal. Well, that's because Nancy Pelosi has money. Most of the American people do not. Now, another person who came out and talked today, who's normally very negative, very down, very pessimistic, is Larry Kudlow. And he's always down and pessimistic about any form of stimulus. Well, he had this to say earlier. "I don't want to parse, but I don't think the recovery is dependent on it," when he came out and talked about stimulus. He also stated that Steve Mnuchin may also offer a larger package than the $2.2 trillion stimulus plan that Nancy Pelosi has offered. Well, that would be great. And the reason why Steve Mnuchin would do this and he'd have the backing of President Trump would be because this would be to repurpose the more than $300 billion that's left over from the CARES Act. There's left roughly between $300 to $400 billion. So if he offered a $2.2 trillion package, just like Nancy Pelosi wants, then it would bring the package to right about, in new money, $1.8 to $1.9 trillion in new funding. That could still have many Republicans on board, and it should have Nancy Pelosi's blessing. So this would also make Nancy Pelosi show her hand, if she would either accept it or decline it. If she declines this package, then it just means she was never operating in good faith, and she never wanted a stimulus package to happen before the election. If she accepts it, then they know, okay, this is great. She's been operating under good faith. She's been negotiating under good faith, and so now we know we can move forward. Right now, what we know is that the $1,200 stimulus checks and $1,000 stimulus check for dependents is not a problem. The issue is it's about a $30 billion gap for testing, tracing, and treatment. Republicans want to offer $45 billion. Democrats want $75 billion. They're also roughly $200 billion apart on unemployment because Republicans do not want to pay $600 a week. They want to pay $400, but they will pay it for the same amount of time. That $200 per week per American that is unemployed adds up to roughly $200 billion. They're also about $136 billion apart on state and local government funding, and reports do indicate that the way the funds are being spent, the language, as Nancy Pelosi says, is still an issue in several spaces. Right now, we're just a little over 3 weeks away from the upcoming election, and stimulus talks are going to heat up even more. So be prepared for that. What I expect this week is to see another counteroffer from President Trump and Steve Mnuchin. I also expect that we should see more Republicans jump on board to whatever stimulus offer is out there. If it's 1.8 trillion, great. If it's 2 trillion, if it's 2.2 or higher, great. I think more Republicans are going to jump on board as we get closer to the election. Also, we are going to have many more companies laying off employees as there's a chance stimulus does not come until after the election, and these companies will not want to hold on and retain these employees much longer, spending more money and losing more every single day. And we will also see the stock market go up and down like never before. So I don't want to worry you, but what I want you to do right now is, if you can, start cutting back on expenses if you haven't done so already. Also, do whatever you can to increase your income if possible. Get another part-time side job. Do some type of side hustle like mowing a lawn or raking leaves, babysitting. Do whatever you can to increase your income. Ask for a raise from your employer. Even 25 cents an hour is still going to benefit you in some way. And start saving any extra money if you possibly can. Now, if you have questions along the way, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. I'm trying to help you guys out any way that I can. If it means just responding to your questions, helping you get through this tough time, finding a new way for you to make money, that's what I'm here for. So ask your questions down in the comment section below. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Do me a favor, go ahead, smash that thumbs up button if you enjoyed today's video and you enjoy the stimulus updates. Also, share this video with your friends and family on Facebook, and I'll see you guys on the next one.